Hi there. Living alone as an older woman is often seen as scary and overwhelming. But believe you me, it can also be a very enriching and empowering situation. Hi, I'm Beck, I'm nearly 50 and I've been living on my own for the last 6 years successfully. And even though I'm on the younger side of 50, I feel like a lot of the worries that other people have voiced on different platforms or in conversations directly with me are applying to me already. But after living on my own now for 6 years, it has shown me that this life, either chosen or not chosen, can be great and very enriching and fun. So the first point I want to talk about is autonomy and independence. Living alone means you have the final say in everything. So you can make any decision you like. If you want to paint a wall purple, go for it. If you want to hang up a great green frog in your hallway, let's do it. You don't have to care for anyone else, and that can be really freeing and satisfying. You can also easily go on a health journey, cook whatever you like at night, or just have beans on toast if you don't fancy cooking anything. Plus the advantage of being able to just throw your dishes in the sink and leave them there for a day or two if you fancy is yours as well. Living alone and having the say in everything really fosters a great sense of self-independence and self-reliance, I find. I personally was able to choose everything in this house. Well, I chose this house to buy in the first place. I then decided what blinds I wanted, what pictures I wanted. That half of my house is taken over by cat and dog hair and cat and dog beds for that matter. There's a scratch tree in the living room. And yes, I love it. No one else needs to like it. It's my house. If you're living with someone, you probably couldn't get away with that because often two people have different standards in cleaning or a different threshold for mess, or in this case, dog hair. So yes, not having to compromise with anything in your house is one of the best things about living solo in older age. The second point that I want to make is personal growth and self-discovery. While living with other people in a relationship or with your children or whoever you're sharing your house with, there is often no time or place to actually do what you really want to do. And I find as women, we often give in and do what everybody else wants and what makes everybody else happy. So now that you're living on your own, you can actually make choices for what you really want. You might discover an old hobby that you loved, like gardening, hiking. I personally love to hike these days. Going camping, start to row, start to run, I don't know. You find what floats your boat. There might have been some things that you always wanted to do, like learning to sew or a pottery club. You name it. I'm pretty sure you can come up with lots and lots of ideas. Now is the time to do it, ladies. 50s, 60s, 70s, however old you are. Try to fill your day with what brings you joy as much as you can. I rediscovered my love for hiking and camping, as I mentioned before. So now I'm mainly found outside on the weekends, either going on a trip, taking all the camping gear with me and discovering new areas, or I'm going for day hikes with a group that I met on Meetup. They're mainly strangers, but it's great to meet new people every weekend. You go out, you have a good chat, you get some exercise, fresh air. And then I have to say I'm very happy to come back into my little abode and shut the door, leave the noise outside and just enjoy being on my own. And I enjoy coming home, being on my own and just enjoying the peace and quiet. If you live on your own, you can create a space that is truly you. You might be minimalist and don't like anything around you and it's a clutter-free and very clean-lined house. Or you might be someone that loves to have heaps of little trinkets, all things that remind you of your past and lots of pictures, colors, fabrics. It's your space. Go for it. Just do it whichever way helps you sit there and relax. I personally still walk through my little house and it is very little. And I like the feel of this place. I feel happy here. I feel at peace. And I find at our age, there's often so much noise happening outside our walls. It can be family, it can be work, it can be children, you name it. There's always so much being thrown at us. So to be able to come home and just shut the door and relax, sitting down with a nice book, watching some shows on Netflix, or sit in the garden and play with the dog. Again, whatever fancies your boat, but it is your space. So you don't have to pretend, you don't have to help anyone else, you don't have to smile for anyone else. You can just come home and relax. And I find you need to keep out the noise to actually be able to center yourself, especially at my age. Perimenopause is starting to kick in, and it's just getting quite difficult sometimes to get through the day, and having a space that reflects me and allows me to be me and just chill out is so important for my mental health and well-being. Living alone as an older woman often means that finances are a little tighter than before. It is important to stay on top of this, as you don't want to miss any bills, so things need to be paid when they need to be paid. And it might be that you never had to worry about that before while living with someone else, so now it is incredibly important to know your numbers, to know your budget, to know what money goes where, and yes, to actually be in control of your financials. A great advantage of being in control of your finances, I find, is that you can really decide what you want to spend your money on. For example, when I was in a relationship, I often had to spend money on things that I actually wasn't that keen on, but my partner wanted these and they were for the house, or we had to repair something, and that's where some of the money went. So you always had to find compromises on what was happening with the money, whereas if you live on your own, you can just spend and save money wherever you like. So if traveling is important to you, you can cut back on your groceries. And if you're happy with eating rice and some frozen vegetables for months in order to do a really big trip that you were looking forward to, then you can do it. If you're someone that really enjoys shoes and fashion and clothing, you might be happy to save money on other ends in order to afford those things. By living by yourself, you can make all these decisions. You are in full control. And so yes, you actually really spend your money on the things that bring you joy. Many women are afraid that by living alone in your older years means that you end up being very lonely. And I myself am always a little bit worried about that, especially because I have moved from a different country and I don't have as many social connections here in Australia than other people have that have gone to school here, finished uni here, have all their family here. But what I found, and also heard from a lot of other women that I've been talking to over the last few years, is that by living alone, you actually end up increasing your social connections. Why is that? When you live with someone, you tend to become a homebody a little bit. You have your partner to bounce ideas back and forth from. You have your partner often to get that social connection need out of the way. You come home on a Friday night and you just hang out, or you go to dinner together, etc., etc. If you have a family, the weekends are often busy with the kids, with your partner's hobbies, maybe your hobbies. Whatever it is, life is busy when you live with other people. Whereas by yourself, yes, it could get lonely, but you have to make an effort to meet other people. And that means that you're actually looking for people that are your people and that bring you joy. I personally joined a few hiking groups. I also joined a few other groups, like a book group, just to see what kind of people to meet. And often these social groups just organize some events, often through Facebook or Meetup. And you can just go and have a dinner with these people, or you go for a hike, you go for a cycle. There might be even a games night. And by doing all these things, you meet people that are interested in the same stuff than you are. But you can choose who and when you want to spend time with them, which is really freeing. I just think find people that do the same stuff that brings you joy. By living alone, you don't have to ask anyone before you make plans for the weekends or the evenings. So just experiment with what floats your boat, and you'll be surprised how many other, especially older women, are out there that are very, very keen on building a community, looking after each other and encouraging each other in this lifestyle. Health and wellness. Well, don't get me started. I personally have no self-control when it comes to sweets, treats, etc. So when living with someone, I'm always in danger of having more of the naughty stuff than I should. Sticking to a health routine, sticking to a workout routine, trying to eat a healthy diet becomes a lot easier when you live by yourself. I'm in control of my grocery shopping, so I will decide if this week I want to eat really healthy. So when I do my weekly shopping, I go to the shops, I only buy healthy things. I will not have any treats or chocolates, etc. in the cupboards. so I'm not tempted to eat any of it. When living with someone, often my partner had other needs at the same time, which is totally fine, but that meant that my self-control had to be really strong not to eat that yummy treat that was in my cupboards while I told myself I'm going to be really good this week. The same with working out. It's hard enough to stick to a workout routine if you don't enjoy it too much. And if someone else lives with you, you come home, you get distracted, or your partner might be on the couch or wants to do something else. And if you're not really committed, and let's face it, most of us often are not, it's a lot easier when you're by yourself. I can come home, I can just commit to it, I do it, there's no one that will distract me from it, and then I can move on afterwards. And lastly, living alone in older age, and I still believe that being nearly 50, this is where it starts, can bring on a huge sense of accomplishment. Living by your own means you have to try and fix things yourself. There's no one else that will do it for you. Yes, of course, you could ring a plumber or ring a handyman, and I do if I think it's a problem that I can't solve myself. But since living alone, I have learned quite a lot of things, often through YouTube. For example, putting together some shelvings for the garage, hanging up some pictures, fixing a door that the cat broke because she ran into it. And it's all easy things to do. But because I never had to worry about it, I just had no idea how to do these. And yes, so by now, Bunnings, which is a big hardware store here in Australia, is my friend. I quite enjoy going there. And living alone means you fix your own stuff. And I have to say, I feel quite a sense of pride when I look at the things that I fixed myself and I didn't have to ask another man or a woman or pay someone to do it. So yes, if you want to feel really good about yourself, go and get yourself a tool set, can be a cheap one, and just try to do some of the easy things yourself. If you get stuck, please do ask someone for help. I say, we can do it, ladies. So living alone as an older woman isn't just about being by yourself. It's really about creating a life rich of experiences that bring you joy. It can be really scary to start off with, and I can say that if you're at the end of a relationship or your children are about to move out or a sudden death, whatever it is that got you into the situation of now living by yourself in older age, it does sound scary at the beginning, but it is about creating a life that is fulfilling and truly yourself. The advantages are significant, from having control over your finances, building self-confidence, fostering independence, to strengthening social connections and just trying out new things that you would have never done before. Let us know what your journey is like. Give me a like if you found this video helpful, and hopefully see you in the next one.